G'day. Don't worry, it's not a wood turning video, although I do like wood turning. This is more of a tool to get something done. I wanted to have a talk to you about the header pipes of the round tank and a wedge tank. Hang on and we'll have a talk about it. Right, let's have a look at these. So I've popped one onto the round tank and you can see it. And I'll show you close up because it's got some imperfections, let's call it that. Here's what I think is the real deal. It's been mandrel bent, as in they have a die that goes through the inside of the pipe to make sure that there's no crinkly bits. And so there's a curve and there's a jog in the pipe, about half the width of the pipe. Now you would think that that's easy to replicate. No, I couldn't find anybody in my town of 10,000, 11,000 people, I beg your pardon, and also the next big town over, Geelong, that mandrel bent exhaust pipes. So one guy, nice bloke, offered to make me a pipe out of pieces, because these days they buy all their pieces in China or from overseas, an importer, sorry, not meant to be racist, and put together exhaust pipes, even for custom applications, from pieces. So here's the one he put together for, and I'm going to use this on the round tank, and it comes out relatively easy. But there's the issue. See it? Clunk, clunk, little clunk, 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 clunk. There's a joint there as well, weirdly. I forget where the rest of the joints are. Now, I should have showed you, but when I got it, I wasn't sure I was ever going to use it. Because it's made out of 13 pieces to get it to look like that. 13. Then I linished it or ground at it for about an hour, getting it as smooth as I could. And I thought, you know what? That doesn't look too bad. Anyway, offered it to the bike and thought, nah, I don't really like it. It just is too clunky here. I better put it back on the bike and I'll show you what I mean. And then I'll give you what I think is my solution. Just take that glove off and we'll have a look at it. That's really clear of what I'm talking about. Now, it is a blessing that it did fit at all, because he didn't have the bike, he copied the first pipe. So I am really grateful and I am really pleased. And most of the joins, or square bits, as I call them, make no difference to anything. You can't see them in here. And that works really well. But it's those at the front that I don't like. Now, I'm never a great work gloves person, mainly because I'm scared of grabbing them on things and getting dragged in. But in this case, I'm going to do something that requires work gloves. I'm hoping that that will go over there and hold the pipe up. So that's a piece of good old Aussie blackwood from the Otways in my leg vice or knee vice, depending on where you're from. The old knee vice is a bit wonky, but nonetheless, I'm going to give that a good jam on there. And I'm going to hope that I can work exhaust wrap around it without, I don't know, destroying myself and the pipe and giving myself a stroke. So this is just, I don't know, exhaust strap. And you buy it in a roll. This is a 15-metre roll of 1 inch exhaust heat wrap. It's made for wrapping up headers and exhaust pipes so that they don't pass heat to other things in the engine bay. Now, I've used them on bikes before, shield your legs, shield your feet, and they look kind of cute. In this case, I want to hide some of this under that. What do you think my chances are? Comes in a kit, you get metal straps to hold it on with, which is cool, and you get a roll. But this is fiberglassy stuff, and it is prickly. And I will need to wash my shirt, oh pardon me, just hit the microphone. I'll need to wash my shirt and bang these gloves out really badly after I use it. Let me get ready and we'll get going. Note to self, operating a touchscreen and that with gloves is not easy. So I marked the pipe where, let's call it the exhaust pipe that I can't show you just yet, will go. But you'll see it. Not just yet. And this is going to be a terrible job until I get it right. I need real fingers. May regret that. Now you start at the back, and I didn't know that to begin with, but you do. And you get a clean line and your plan doesn't quite work the way you thought, but nonetheless. And eventually, it'll start to grab on itself and the pipe, and it'll all be good. I say eventually. It's just unrolling a little bit on me, which is really frustrating. It's just slipping on the pipe. So, why don't you go and make a cup of coffee and come back and see just how beautiful it all looks, eh? I've progressed. Now I'm about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches down. And I did take my gloves off to get started because I can't, not that I can't. I found it difficult to work with the gloves. And I grabbed a cable tie and put just a regular cable tie around the pipe. The pipe does keep coming a bit loose, but I think the mandrels, my theory for the mandrel is sound. But I am prone to over-tightening things, so that could be a problem. Now, in the past, I've thrown this in a bucket of water. But I spoke to old mate at the auto parts store this morning about that, and he looked at me in disbelief and said, "Oh no, I wouldn't do that, mate." So I'm putting it on dry. I don't know. What do you lot think? Anybody done this before and put it on wet? I've done a few and always put it on wet. So, don't know whether the product's changed or whether old mate who was younger than my son didn't actually know. And it is Sunday morning and you're watching something else. Don't think I'll bore you, but it's going okay. Wonder if I can get you down, show you the progress without messing this up. Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm risking it for a biscuit. There's the regular cable tie, the end of the pipe that the silencer needs to go over, and here's the wrap. So I'm wrapping, that's inch wrap, and I'm wrapping half and half. I've still got plenty left, and I'm hoping it'll go all the way. If it doesn't, I'll have to pull it off and start over and make it go all the way. To the end, and it's been good. I've just got a cable tie around that, a regular one, and I'm just getting rid of the kinks out of this last bit of tape. I've got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 metres left, so 10 metres would have been what I've wrapped around that. That's a fair bit, isn't it? I could have done it with less, but I didn't want to. I wanted it to be obviously wrapped and to see the wrap, to distract your eye from the kinks. I can still see the kinks because I know they're there. So I'm optimistic that, and I'll just wipe my face with my mother's tea towel again. Pardon me if that hits the microphone. Don't wipe your face with your gloves and be really careful about it because this stuff is so prickly that it drives you mental. Kitchen shears or something kind of like that. Actually, not kind of like that. That's exactly what they are. Now, I've opened up the metal bands they give you. And they are, I assume they're stainless steel. And they go together like that, I think. They do. And then you simply push them down to the size you want. And they're a cable tie, I suppose, for want of another description. Except they're slightly more difficult to use, I find. Nonetheless, that's one of them on. Now, I'm thinking about where do they sit and what do they look like, because I'm that obsessive compulsive nut job. But I don't know that I have to worry about it too much. So I've just nicked the original one off, and I'm just going to tidy up some of this daggy looking stuff, because it frays terribly. Terribly. And then we'll get another one to go. And I've put that one in. That one's inside out. I suppose you could run them that way if you wanted to, but you'd have trouble getting the clip. So I'm going to try and grab hold of these and give them a tug with a pair of pliers, or a twist with a pair of pliers. Trying to get another click out of it, but I don't think I can. That's a pity. I'd like one more. Oh, there it goes. That's super. Let's see about the other one. Yep. Same. Got an extra click out of it. That's really good. Now, I'm going to turn those around to be behind what I'd call behind the pipe. And I wish that one was tighter. That one is tight. And I'd call them behind the pipe, about there. So they're tucked away. Oh, and they've sort of gone over one another. They look good. I think it's a two-tie job. Not sure. I'd really like that one to be a hair tighter. Bear with me while I have a go at that and see if I can get that a little bit tighter. Just going to cut this clip off. That's cut off easy. Now, I actually broke one. One of them broke. The clip broke. Really disappointingly. Now, I've got 5. Yeah, I had 6. So I could put another one on, but now that I look at it, I probably like the single clamp just as much. Not to worry. Good old pair of tin snips. Rightio, down the back here, and this should be simple too. Should be really simple. I'm going to tighten it up. And I'm going to nip off the cable tie. And I reckon that's tight enough. 10 snips. Save these from going to scrap. And I'm really pleased with them because they cut, he says, really well. And that looks good. And I'm going to twist that out of sight at the bottom. Let's get this thing off my homemade mandrel, move my mother's rooster tea towel. Good on you, Mum, for saving those old cloths for me. And let's have a look at it on the bike, eh? All right. I hope you've got a decent view. So there's what a normal pipe would look like. And we saw all that before. I'm going to get that out of the road. It only muddies the waters. And here, and you're not going to get a great view of this until I step away, is what I hope will be the wrapped pipe. There we go. What do you think? I think it looks better. I think it looks just like somebody tried to protect themselves from heat. And the purists would say, nah, don't do that. But I like it more than I do the painted look. I'll take my gloves off because they're prickly. Or I've got pins and needles. Get you, and you can have a closer look. And you can let me know what you think. What would you have done? You know I love up close and personal. Here it is. Now, I think I've got the end of the barrel just right. It looks good. It neat around the front of the timing chain case. All here through the back of the footrest, the brake pedal, under the gearbox is really good. I did think that in here I might run out of space, but I haven't. Still got a little bit of up and down and left and right. Get the camera in the right spot. Overall, I like it more than I liked the painted version. The painted version looked, didn't look right to me. There's a good one, and in my opinion, that's another good one. You know I'm solutions-based. I have a lot of problems, and I think everyone that has an old bike has lots of problems, you know, stuff that you need to find a solution for. Now, I could chase around the country, and I could spend years looking for the correct header pipe, and I could send it off to be nickel-plated, and then never ride the bike because it'd go purple or blue really quickly. That was a solution that I didn't have to pay the world for, and I think the wrap looks really good. I'm going to have a look at the exhaust pipe on it, and you can just wait a little bit longer. Welcome back. It's only been a second for you, but for me it's been a week or more. I fitted this pipe last week, but didn't have the nice little clamp. So I've got a clamp on it, and I've painted the universal bracket, which is actually just a bit of steel with a hole, with holes pumped in it. And I've got it all back together. I'm very, very pleased with how it looks. It is a good look for me. I hope you think it's a good look for you. But if not, well, this is the way I've chosen to go about it. And it's actually making me happy. So that's what it's all about. I'll bring you down and let you have a close look, and then we'll wind the whole thing up, eh? There we go. up close and personal. I reckon it looks really good. I actually like the silencer. I'd like the finish on it to be a little bit better, but you know what? That looks really good to me. I like the where it finishes, just past the centre of the axle, and I like the look of it. Is it as good as an original? Well, no, it probably isn't. Well, it definitely isn't. But for me, that's a super win. Well, there you go. That's my flat tank journey for the week. It's bracingly cold in the shed this morning, and I'm really not super keen to be in here. But I wanted to wind this up and get this tidied up for you so you can have a look at it. Hey, big shout out to everybody who's subscribed. You really have warmed my heart. I'm so excited. I get up every morning and click on the YouTube studio and see that someone else has chosen to follow the little channel. We are truly a micro channel with, I think, 720 subscribers as of this morning. You're not going to see this for perhaps 10 days, but as of today, 720. I'm blown away that people responded to the call to subscribe. So if you could, and if you want to, subscribe. If you don't, hey, that's cool too. It doesn't matter. You know, watch, enjoy. I hope you get something out of it. I hope you like my little round tank. It's really good. In the meantime, have a good one, eh? Cheers.